He's got the Inter one. Lyle Creek, the champion of trotting in the Inter Dominion, wins at 5 metres. Shaker Maker led loose for the run. Look at him go. Shaker Maker hit the lead with John Justice. He's coming away. Flying Greeny's got it. It's a victorious Vanilla. Shaker's done it. Shaker Maker's won the Inter Dominion.
But take a moment. He's turned on. He's the Trotters champion. Take a moment. Big Mountain Gold. Pocket me and you'll start flying. You'll star after running again. You'll stars into Dominion.
La Cucaracha, she's trying hard, but Game Med is holding La Cucaracha. It's an upset, and New Zealand takes the Trotters into Dominion. Smooth Satin in front for Steve Turnbull. Shaker Maker's lifting, but it's a Baptist into Dominion. Smooth Satin and Steve Turnbull.
Righto, some action from the Inter Dominion in years gone by, and the 2003 edition kicking off in the next 20 minutes or so. Well, the fixed odds, as we alluded to early, certainly has become very open, Sam, with the late scratching of young Ruthless.
Most of these horses, it's interesting, market, because a lot of these horses were double the odds they currently are, but horses like Double Identity, for instance, hasn't firmed up all that much, which I have to say is a touch surprising. I don't expect Double Identity to win tonight, but I think he is the horse that can go through the series and win. Between he and Young Rufus, they've been the best two horses on the Grand Circuit this season. I wouldn't take $6.50 Double Identity right now because I think that he'll be better after tonight. I don't think he'll win tonight. I think he'll be needing the run and certainly getting better towards the final. Sly Flying, I think, is under the odds. I just don't think he's had the grounding to win it into Dominion.
What can you tell us about Sly Flying? Because he wouldn't be familiar to Australians.
Well, he was a super juvenile, a super 2- and 3-year-old. He had injury problems. He was off for 14 months. He has come back. He initially raced quite well. Then he went off a little bit. He certainly performed below Jack Cade, who was also withdrawn from this series through injury after he missed the Chariots of Fire. This is a very good horse, Sly Flying, but we're talking about an Inter Dominion and a lot of runs in a compressed time frame, and I think that's well and truly against him. As we have a look at the ratings for the first of the Inter Dominion heats, Sly Flying rated second there. I think Factor Non-Verba's nearly one of the good things of the night from Addington. I expect the horse to be able to lead from barrier 1, and if he does that, I think Factor Non-Verba will win. He's been very, very consistent in all the big races this season. He ran second in the New Zealand Cup, he ran second in the Auckland Cup. He missed away in the Hunter Cup, so forget that run, but I think the Super Tab odds are probably more reflective of what Factor Non-Verba's chances are here. I think if you like a leader, if you like a horse that's really going to give you a good sight for your money, Factor Non-Verba's the one in this particular heat. Just going back to the fixed odds, Dean, just having a look through some of the potential, horses to be on. Baltic Eagle, I think, is another horse that at $7.50 has good claims to the final. In fact, I think he's the second pick. Shaker Maker at $8.50. You mentioned, you at least through your heart, you want Shaker to win. Isn't it amazing? We saw him or watched him win the 2000 Inter Dominion there. Just as we rolled that opener, it's 3 years later, can he do it again? Not too many horses have done that. In fact, only one horse has ever done it, won an Inter Dominion, and then 3 years later won another one. So he's got history well and truly against him.
Yeah, he certainly has. What about a former winner in Newell Star in the first? I
couldn't have him. He's just a little bit too inconsistent. I'm not sure that the Inter Dominion timetable really suits him. I don't think he's a horse that likes to back up and keep gruelling. But he did it in Brisbane, so he certainly got the runs on the board, but not for mine.
Yep. Pick Me Pockets?
No. He's a lovely, consistent horse with a bit of speed, but I couldn't see him winning in Inter Dominion. I think that we do lack depth in this series, and I'm not being harsh on any of the horses. I think that's just a reality. There is, a lot of horses just making up the numbers here, and probably only really 5 or 6 winning chances for the Inter Dominion. And realistically, you'd expect them all to get through without too much trouble. And then after that, if you're having pre-post bets, it comes down to who gets the best barrier draw.
Yeah, just getting news that Double Identity at the moment is about $15 on the New Zealand tote. I
would expect that to firm, but as I said, I don't expect him to win tonight. But he is a champion racehorse, and when you have champion racehorses, they can do unpredictable things and things you don't expect them to. But I would expect him to need the run tonight, maybe finish 3rd or 4th, and work towards the Inter Dominion final with his next 2 heat runs. Factor Non-Verba really does look thrown in from barrier 1.
What about, can Western Light sneak into a place?
There's no reason why he can't. He's quite rough. He, of course, only just missed out on the final last year in Sydney. He qualified for the Consolation, where he raced well. He has got a definite place chance because he's following out behind the favourite.
Yeah. City Rogues, the Derby winner in Australia, is he racing very well at the moment?
I think he's a good outside chance to make the final. I think he can consistently earn points as we go along. He had an injury. He missed out on the Chariots of Fire 12 months ago, and he never really has recaptured his form. We see that a lot with horses that get injured, obviously, and that's the concern with him. But I think he's got an outside chance of making the final.
All right, so that's the first heat at Addington tonight. That's coming up in about 20...
It's a lovely horse, Shorty's Girl. She actually beat Wahaka Lass 2 starts ago. Of course, Wahaka Lass came and won the Chariots of Fire in Sydney. So Shorty's Girl, massive overs on our totes. Sly Flying was fairly comparable. As was Yule Star. The horse that's way under the odds on the New South Wales and Australian totes is, not surprisingly, Double Identity. A wonderful racehorse, but he's double those odds on the New Zealand tote. I expect Factored on Verba to lead, and I expect him to win, Dino. And, well, here it is. Finally, it's come, the Inter-Dominion.
Righto, let's head over there. Rion Murtha is our caller. This is the first heat for the Pacers.
It'll be a good race, there's no doubt about that. Double Identity is going to be a tough customer, no doubt about that. The New South Wales rep, Western Light. The other Victorian representative Australian in the race started in the series last year in Sydney. They're in behind the mobile. First heat of the Thunder Down Under. Inter-Dominions for 2003. They're rolling and they're racing. Underway, Facton on Verba began well. Speed from Pick Me Pockets going out to challenge him early. Shorty's Girl followed on the inside. Western Light got a lovely run through to be in the trail, and one of the favourites, Double Identity, broke at the end of 200 metres and went back through the field. And he's galloped, and I think he's blown his chances. He's right out of it. So as they travel down the far side, past the 1600, Facton on Verba, the leader. Western Light goes as third to get the trail, and joined by Sly Flying, 3 wide around Pick Me Pockets. Barry Purdon wants something to come around, so Sly Flying should get a fairly easy trip out outside the leader. Is followed by Yule Star, Nice and Handy. Peter Jones going up 3 wide. Randy Andy, Shorty's Girl gets pushed back a bit. Dartaway got through in the inner. They were followed by City Rogue, and then Wee Eagles Dare, and over on the inside of those is that Old Bomber, and 30 metres to Double Identity. Down past the winning post, the lead time was 23.6, and leading them around past the winning post, Facton on Verba, the favourite. Here coming forward out 3 wide as Where Eagles Dare, 32.8 for the quarter. In past the pavilion they run, just over 1,000 left. Facton on Verba. Robbie Holmes says you're not going to get the front, and Andrew Neal's going to sit park where Where Eagles Dare. Western Lights getting a soft passage right behind the leader. Yule Star getting a nice run. Dartaway next in the inside. Sly Flying beside it. Randy Andy, Pick Me Pockets and Shorty's Girl. Atoll Bomber down on the inside, then City Rogue, and Double Identity after losing all that ground has caught the bunch. Inside the 800, second quarter, and 28.7. Down the back they run, and Facton on Verba sitting record sections as they run down to the 600 metres by 2 from Western Light. Sitting parked on the outside as Where Eagles Dare. Dartaway is fourth. The markers is joined to the outside of runners by Yule Stars getting a soft enough run, followed by Sly Fly and Randy Andy. They were followed by City Rogue. Ahead of that is Pick Me Pocket, Shorty's Girl, and then on the inside that Old Bomber and Double Identity. Round the turn, the first heat of the Thunder Down Under Inter-Dominion Series, and Facton on Verba sprints. He's out by 2. Western Light coming down the outside, Sly Fly and Yule Star, and further out on the track, Shorty's Girl. Western Light goes to the front, and Western Light gives Australian the first points of the series. Western Light from Victoria. Neville Clark, is he pleased about that? Sly Fly and Facton on Verba, Randy Andy, Dartaway. They were followed home by Shorty's Girl. Next across in the centre, Atoll Bomber, Yule Star, followed by Pick Me Pockets, Where Eagles Dare, City Rogue and Double Identity. Number 10, Western Light, 40 to 1 odds, has won the first heat of the Thunder Down Under Inter-Dominion Series for Neville Clark from Victoria. And he's won it beautifully, got a wonderful passage, beautifully rated, sat in the trail rather, moved it out as they came round the turn to challenge Facton on Verba, which had sprinted clear, and he's got home and rolled the favourite, and Sly Flying has probably got up to run second, very close for second and third. Wait for the call on that.
Well, the Australians at either end of the points scale after Heat 1 of the Inter-Dominion Pacers Series for 2003, Western Light. Well, Adam Hamilton pointed it out, and it was fairly obvious that he was always going to follow out Factor on Buba from the gate, and if he held the lead, he was going to get the soft trip. He held that trailing position by Factor on Buba quite comfortably out of the gate, and then it was just up to him to try and get past Factor on Buba, who had been softened up just a wee bit out of the gate by Pick Me Pockets, and then middle of the race when Where Eagles Dare came around, and he's just starting to feel those two sprints now as Western Light starts to get wound up for Neville Clark. Judges called to confirm second and third a photo.
10.
Well, we know he's got a very strong finish on him, Western Light, and he was always going to be a solid place chance of where he landed, but I hope you've put him into your trifecta, folks.
Yeah, Dean, it was well picked up. Look, the horse, you know, I didn't think he would win, don't get me wrong, but following the speed, he was a genuine strong place chance, and well, as we said, he only just missed out on the final last year. There's no doubt this series is a bit weaker. Interesting to take from that race, I guess. What do we take from it? Just going through them, Double Identity galloped, but in the end was beaten a long way, even though he had to do a lot of work to catch up. He's got 2 rounds of heats now to make up the ground, but he's going to have to perform even better than expected from him now. Factor on Verba had its chance in front, no doubt about that. Yule Star was terrible. Sly Flying went okay.
Yeah, Yule Star was very disappointing after enjoying a gun run. Double Identity is going to have to win his next 2 heats, just about.
Well, he's going to have to win 1 heat and then run a pretty good race in another one.
Yeah. Righto. Okay, let's go back to New Zealand.
That must get a nice set, hoping the others do a bit more work than he does, and then he can always get home. So whilst it mightn't look that good on paper, the horse has been going very well.
Oh, super win tonight, and all the very, very best for the rest of the series.
Many thanks, Greg.
So Greg O'Connor...
Righto, Neville Clark chasing an Into Dominion win, and of course brother Bruce is no stranger to Into Dominions. He was associated with the mighty Gamelite.
He got a pair of them, 83 and 84 at Alexandra Park in Adelaide. So yeah, well done to Bruce Clark, and the Aussies will be crowing, eh? The New Zealanders.
For sure. I mean, they've put them away in the cricket lately, but
we can't really crow about that, can we?
Oh dear. All right.
Neville Clark is one of hers. Who knows?
Why not give it to them? I mean, they give it to us, don't they?
Oh yeah, they deserve it. No doubt.
Western Light at 47.30 and 4.80 ahead of Factor Non-Verba and Sly Flying. The trifecta paid 948. That was heat 1 of the Into Dominion for the Pacers. Now the first heat for the Trotters comes up in 22 minutes, and I think the All Blacks will be crowing after this. Take a Moment is all the rage. He's at 104 on the New South Wales tote and dominates the ratings, but it's pretty hard to see him being beaten.
Well, not only do we not have an Aussie in the race to beat him anyway, but he's just too good. Take a Moment. I don't want to be taking $1.84. I think he'll probably end up $1.20, $1.30. I know that $1.40 was bet freely with some of the pre-post bookies today, but Take a Moment looks the winner. Has been set for this. They bypassed Melbourne. They bypassed the Australasian Trotting Championship to concentrate on the Inter Dominion. It was a race that he won back in 2001 at Albion Park, and Dino in New Zealand news through that he is $1.40 over there. So I expect him to drift out a little bit, but all things considered, he does look the winner of this particular race. And just talking about Kiwi-Australian rivalry, of course, Golden Gold's in the second of the Trotters heats, and we'll watch him go around another hour and a half or so. But Golden Gold, a New Zealand-bred horse, now trained in Australia, I think we'll claim him.
Well,
what do you reckon?
Do we claim Michael Murray, of course, a Zimbabwean?
Absolutely. You would expect Special Force to zoom straight to the front here, and no doubt Special Force has got a wonderful place chance from that draw. Another horse that has got place claims outside of that particular horse is number 12 Sunny. He's quite a roughie, both in New Zealand and on our tote. But this is a promising horse. Derek Ball puts the polish on this horse. Of course, he trains Martina H as well, and I know he's got a pretty good opinion of this one. It's only a youngster as far as trotting is concerned, 5 years of age by Sundon, but a nice horse. But no doubt that Take a Moment's the one to beat here. I think the clear second pick is number 4, Special Force, who'll zoom straight to the front.
What about Gold?
I don't know a great deal about him, Dean, I have to admit, but he did run a couple of nice races late last year. I think we saw at Kaikoura, the Trotters Cup at Kaikoura, he ran a slashing race there. So, and also second favourite on the New Zealand tote as we speak. So that's a good pointer.
All right, he's showing $36 on the New South Wales tote, 74 on Super Tap, yet he's only $12.75 in New Zealand. So big overs about Gold. Interesting to note they've got a lot more money in their place pool than they have their win pool.
very common in New Zealand. Probably a couple of factors. Their style of racing over there is conducive to horses certainly doing their best work at the finish. So and the big fields too would mean that place punting is well, gives you a little bit more value than it would be on, on our soil.
Yep. Righto, we're not far off a start now for the first heat of the Trotters. Geelong race 3, 158 on the harness meeting, and the trifecta paying 458. Well, the strands have been drawn across there in New Zealand for race 8.
Yeah, just interesting to note, Dino, the first round of the Trotters into Dominion run under standing start conditions. The next 2 heats will be run under mobile conditions before the final.
Righto, we might join trackside in New Zealand.
It can happen on the odd occasion, but hopefully it'll be all right.
Australian viewers won't have seen his 2 trial winning performances. They've both been pretty professional, to say the least, and he looks to have a little bit of condition on him. Is he a horse obviously you expect to improve throughout the carnival?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's all set to go, yeah.
Okay, Anthony, good luck. You've won it before, and good luck in this year.
Thanks, Justin.
There we have it, Sheldy, Anthony Butt. They're all getting a bit tense here. It's time to roll, and I'm going to get out of the way.
Yeah, we heard the whistle from Jack Mulcahy. We didn't get to Gold, who will be a tonic for his sick owner, Margaret McCauley, judging by the way he won at the workouts last Saturday. And big threats from Castleton's Mission and possibly Sunnies to the favourite. Let's join Rion for the first of the Trotters heats.
Australia took first blood in the Pacers heats. None in this race from Australia. They're off and racing, and the Trotters are underway. First heat of the Thunder Down Under Trotting Series, and Valley of the Moon broke in the inside. Adu's Invasion. Mountain Spring has gone up in the air. Castleton's Mission's made a great beginning. Puts pass up outside the second horse, which is Cordon Rouge. So at the end of the first 200 metres, Adu's Invasion, not normally in front, but is tonight from Cordon Rouge and Hutzpah and Major Decision. Take a moment. About 2 lengths further back behind those runners, they settle down as Special Force. Castleton's Mission follows that. 2 lengths away to Gold. Valley of the Moon recovers after breaking. About 3 to Loco Foco, 4 back to Sunnies, and the good 20 metres away, Mountain Spring, the tail ender. They race for the turn into the back, 2,100 metres left. And in front by 2's Adu's Invasion. In the trail, beautifully spotted as Cordon Rouge, and Hutzpah goes up to sit in the breeze, almost outside the leader's wheel. Take a moment. Fourth couldn't be better placed. On it's in a Major Decision, followed by Special Force. Making ground, Valley of the Moon. Castleton's Mission not being pushed along early. Up on the inside of runners, Loco Foco, then Gold, and Sunnies 2 lengths away on the back of the field, and a long gap back right out of it, Mountain Spring. So the speed goes on. It's pretty constant as they run round the turn on the far side, 1,600 left, and Adu's Invasion by 2. Adu's Invasion, Cordon Rouge. Anthony Butt takes the champ around the outside. Take a moment and rushes up quickly. The pace slackened a little bit, so he took advantage to go quickly to the front. Adu's Invasion trying to keep him out, no show. Take a moment, goes to the lead with ease, followed by Adu's Invasion, then Special Force getting closer. Cordon Rouge fourth, the inside. Hutzpah now getting into a good spot. Major Decision next in the inside of Valley of the Moon. Castleton's Mission followed by Loco Foco. Gold is 2 lengths away and 2 further back to Sunnies. Only about 8 lengths from the leader. Lead time was 1:20.7. The first quarter 31.4. Round the turn out of the straight they run, 1,100 metres left. Take a moment, has taken the lead by 2 lengths. In the trail, Adu's Invasion. Special Force sitting parked in the open now. Cordon Rouge on the inside of Hutzpah. Major Decision followed the outside as they travel into the back by Valley of the Moon, and going forward Gold. It was followed by Loco Foco. Castleton's Mission being held up in the centre, and Sunnies improving around them. 800 metres left. Down the back they run the second quarter in 32.1. But Take a Moment's controlling the second race of the Inter-Dominions tonight, the first of the Trotters. They run down the back. It's Take a Moment. A length and a quarter to the good of Special Force. Adu's Invasion, and Gold is out 3 wide. They were followed in behind those by Cordon Rouge, Hutzpah. Then Sunnies 3 wide with cover on the back of Gold. Valley of the Moon was next, and up on the inside the Major Decisions blocked away. Castleton's Mission 3 wide, wanting something to take it forward, and at the back of them is Loco Foco. Round the turn to the straight entrance, 2:30 left, and Take a Moment. He's travelling perfectly for Anthony Butt. Room for Adu's Invasion in the passing lane. Special Force and Gold, and Castleton's Mission is brought to the outside. In behind them, Cordon Rouge. Take a Moment moment. Castleton's Mission is rocketing home, but the champ's too good. And Take a Moment has won it well. Castleton's Mission. Photo for third, Adu's Invasion Chutzpah. They were followed at the head of the rest when they crossed Special Force. Then Cordon Rouge, Major Decision. Out wider, Sunnies. It was followed by Gold, Valley of the Moon and Loco Foco. That's the bunch. And there's 200 metres back to Mountain Spring, which blew it at the start.
He's paid well on the New South Wales tote, Sam. Two's on.
Yeah, $1.35 in New Zealand. Look, we knew it before the race, but he's the benchmark for the series. I think his main challenges are all going around in Heat 2 tonight, and that's the race that we'll want to watch with interest. Certainly the second, third and fourth favourite for the Trotting Championship are engaged there, but boy, they're going to have to do something special to beat Take a Moment. He's certainly the one that is going to dominate if he gets things to go his way.
We're standing by to take you back to New Zealand, but just too good there. Take a Moment. Castleton's Mission charging home at the end.
Certainly a nice run from Castleton's Mission. Gave a fair few of those a start, obviously, except for Take a Moment, was able to run past them. And as we have a look at the replay, just those pre-race comments from Anthony Butt there were interesting. Certainly expected to be tightened up and in need of this run. And if that's the case, then it should send a shiver through the veins of his rivals.
Righto, we've got the next at Geelong coming up in about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, he did it nice, Greg. He got a nice run in front, and it was a nice run first up, just what we wanted. So, no, he sprinted home really nice, hand a bit in hand at the finish.
There's not a trotter racing in Australasia that's beaten him in the last 8 months. Is there anything in this series you think can threaten him?
Well, I hope not, but you never know. You know, these races are never easy, and a lot can happen. You know, still 3 weeks to the final, but he is a great horse, and he's right at the top of his game, and Tim's done a great job to have him peak, and, you know, tonight was probably going to be most vulnerable, but hopefully he'll improve through the series too.
All the best for the rest of the series, Ants.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
Yes, and when he's the horse that they have to beat. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Heat 2. Martina H has dead heated with him during the past 6 months in the Dominion Handicap, and of course we've got Golden Gold, who has just gone through the roof since crossing over to
the top two for the ratings, ahead of Baltic Eagle and Gracious Knight. Holmes DG at 650, Shaker Makers at 270, Village Chief at 890, 660 Oaxaca Lass, and 350 for Baltic Eagle. Spotted one there at a bit of value. Gracious Knight.
The New Zealand Cup winner. Wonderful horse. He has been a touch inconsistent, but and we'll be watching him. Look, I think Shaker can win here. I think Shaker Maker's the horse to beat. I think he'll be favourite, and he is on our tape, but I think in New Zealand he'll also be favourite. And
do you think he'll lead?
Yeah, I do. I think he'll get the lead off Holmes DG, and I think that they'll be the two that'll fight the race out. I think those at the back will have a bit of trouble getting into the race. Baltic Eagle's got a great chance to win the grand final, but I'm not expecting him to be able to beat.
Short Leap. They're at the start here at Addington, and there's been a bit of a move late, but Oaxaca Lass, number 10, it's 6.75 in New Zealand, but 5.40 in New South Wales.
Yeah, certainly has firmed right up. What have we got here in New Zealand, Dino?
What's she showing? 6.75.
Yeah, so it's fairly comparable, I guess. I think Baltic Eagle can win the Inter-Dominion Championship. I'm not tipping him tonight as I've gone through, but I know that Kim Prentice is very happy with this horse. He won 2 Grand Circuit races in Perth earlier in the season. He's a wonderful stayer, and he's one to keep your eye on right through this series. He's a great horse, but tonight I think it might be Shaker Maker.
Barrier, the 92 more FM, second heat of the Inter-Dominion Paces. 1950 metres, getting down to the start, they're almost at it. Watch for the green light. It's on, they're racing, and Shaker Maker flew the gate brilliantly from Holmes DG, was followed out then by Bruisem. Final ridge a little wider on the track. Oaxaca Lass getting a run up in behind Holmes DG. Franco New Deal was next. They were followed by Annie's Boy, then Chilanu Storm, Village Chief 2 lengths away, Gracious Knight getting back, Baltic Eagle the same, and about 3 to 4 to Eastward Jaunty. So out of the back straight they run on the southern side of the track, 1600 from home, and Shaker Maker in front, his head down, which is a characteristic style. They were running around the corner into the straight, and Annie's Boy is going to up and level to him. So Annie's Boy coming around to give Shaker Maker the eyeball, is followed then in the third spot by Holmes DG. Final ridge getting into a nice spot. Oaxaca Lass 3 back along the markers, Bruisem outside it. They were followed through on the inner by Chilanu Storm and Franco New Deal. Not a great first quarter. Lead time 24.2 it was. They were followed outside of those then by Franco New Deal. Here's the West Aussie Baltic Eagle going around them 3 wide. Village Chief on it's in a gracious night behind it, and Eastward Jaunty. Quarter and 31.9. So he's getting it easy. Shaker Maker in front, 1,000 to go. This is a walk in the park for him as they travel into the back, and he's untroubled by a length from Annie's Boy. Holmes DG getting the soft passage right behind them. Final Ridge in the outside were Harkalas 3 deep. They were followed then by Bruisem, Shalanu Storm, Baltic Eagle getting closer. Franco New Deal just on its inner. Baltic Eagle's out 3 though. Village Chief's on its back, followed by Gracious Night and Eastward Jaunty. Half ticked over the second quarter and 30.4. So down the back straight they run. They're 600 metres from home, and Shaker Maker leads the second heat of the Inter-Dominion paces out the back, and with about 3/4 of a length advantage from Annie's Boy. Annie's Boy's followed by Holmes DG. Final Ridge trying to come around them. Baltic Eagle wants to be in the firing line as they come to the turn. Shalanu Storm, Wahaka Lass looking for luck on the inside. Bruisem and Village Chief coming widest of all, hanging a bit. Franco New Deal and Gracious Night and Eastward Jaunty, but Shaker Maker's let down. He's out by 2. After him is Holmes DG, and down the outside Baltic Eagle and Village Chief. Shaker Maker, he's in front. Holmes DG coming at him on the inside. Shaker Maker, Holmes DG. Holmes DG got it. Holmes DG has upset the favourite Shaker Maker, and home for third Wahaka Lass. They were followed at the head of the rest by Gracious Night, made a likely run through in the inner with Baltic Eagle. After those Shalanu Storm, Village Chief, followed home by Bruisem. Then Franco New Deal, Eastward Jaunty, Annie's Boy and Final Ridge. Holmes DG. Is his career over or is it not? The veteran. And he's...
Well, is it? I don't know. He's had the gun run in behind Shaker Maker, who in turn was getting a cushy run in front, and that's a bit of a surprise to see him being picked up.
Well, we thought that was going to be the Quinella, Dean, but the other way around, most likely Shaker Maker beating Holmes DG, and I guess that's the sort of series it is. It's pretty open, and Holmes DG was 25 to 1 to win the Inter-Dominion final before going into this heat. Admittedly, he had all of the favours there. Wahaka Lass went every bit as good as Holmes DG did. Great thrill for Scott Phelan. He's only a kid, and to drive in the Inter-Dominion would be a great thrill for him, and he's got an Inter-Dominion heat winner, so well done to Scott, and I'm sure we'll be able to catch up with him pretty shortly in New Zealand. Shaker Maker was home, wasn't he? And he was entitled to win all of the same. Holmes DG using the sprint lane to gun him down in the very last stride. Baltic Eagle's run was interesting. He kept coming, but he seemed to sort of be labouring out there 3 wide for a long way, but he kept trying, and he wasn't beaten that far at the end.
No, he's certainly looking for the longer trip. Oh, sorry, he's an 8-year-old. I'm looking at the wrong...
If he kept racing to 12, he'd be going okay.
Yeah, well, he seems like he's been around for that long.
He does, he certainly has. He won derbies as a 3-year-old, and, well, Scotty Phelan there, he is a fresh-faced young boy, and we're about to catch up with him pretty shortly.
Righto, let's go back to trackside in New Zealand, and we're about to hear from young Scotty Phelan as the horse is brought back.
Drive on the horse, how big a buzz is that to win an Inter-Dominion heat?
Awesome feeling, you know. You can only dream about these sort of moments.
He's a wonderful horse. Getting through on the inside, at which stage did you really think you were going to pick up Shaker Maker, because he's a superstar as well?
Oh, not that I went across the line, Greg. You know, he has a great horse, and home and pulled it out tonight.
How much improvement do you think there will be in him, given this is only his second run back?
Oh, there'll be a lot of improvement left in him yet, Greg, so just hope for best the rest of the series.
All the very best for it, Scotty.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
On top of the ratings, which is, I think, is a surprise.
Oh, look, I think you're right. But what's probably more of a surprise? Well, no, it's not really. The parochial support for the horse at $2.90. I don't have the current market for that Trotters race up at the moment. I know you're going to work on it for us, but I would be shocked if he was anywhere near $2.90. I think he'd be closer to $6 or $7, and when you get that up, we'll relay the information. But Frugal Echo is a wonderful square gator, has been for a number of seasons, a bit of a globetrotter really, and Martina H. A little bit unlucky in the end in Victoria. Did win one feature race, but then the Australasian Trotting Championship, the luck went against her, and as we get that tote screen up now, it's Golden Gold, $8.80 over there in New Zealand. In fact, a much wider market in New Zealand than it is on the Australian totes generally. I did think that the 3 main chances were the 1,